Well, I think it's good for him to get out there in front of people and play. That might seem kind of a simple statement, but he's looked very good in practices. So when people ask you questions at Big Ten Media Day, and the only thing you can judge on is what you see, and he looks comfortable. The ball goes in. He makes threes. He makes pull-ups. He's never been a guy that really separated himself from people. He can separate and get a shot, but in terms of getting by people a lot. So tonight, seeing him get to the rim a couple times was good. He took a charge, which is a positive. But this is the way he's looked in practices and scrimmages. He's been very, very efficient. He has scored the ball. And each time this happens, it just builds more and more confidence for him. And then I think also for our team, because we're going to look to him to do a lot for us.
When he came out, it's probably something you may not even be aware of, but he went to the end of the bench and kind of stood up against the scoreboard several times. Was that just to kind of keeping his knee from tightening up, or did you notice that?
I have no idea. No, I didn't. I noticed he was standing a couple times.
Yeah.
But I didn't pay much attention to it. So what did he say?
He said he was just feeling it out, keeping it loose and stuff. I mean, it was unusual. You don't see that very often.
That was unusual out there in general with your lack of space to stand, because that's how a lot of arenas are, the way it is, the way we are now. But to me, it felt like we were pushed in. We got like the court was shrinking, but obviously not. It's the same, but it didn't feel that way at first.
Your two bigs, 8 for 8. Now that you're going to talk about the defensive end and the rebound, but together they gave you a nice.
Right.
If that's a snapshot of what's to come, you had to like that.
No question about it. I thought both those guys did some good things, and obviously we got to rebound the ball better. And that's just not them; that's everybody. That's what we talked about after the game. But Travis is a guy that can stretch the defense and make an open shot. It's hard for a center to cover a guy that's efficient shooting the basketball. And then Sandy, has that nice little jump hook and is pretty good around the basket. We need him to use his athleticism around the basket. People don't realize that he's a pretty athletic kid. He's pretty mobile around there. But no, I thought both those guys did some good things.
The other guy, Anthony Johnson, came off and not just scoring, but it seemed like he was really active all over the floor.
Well, I thought he did a good job of rebounding the basketball. He went and got a couple of pretty impressive rebounds. He did a good job of moving his feet and guarding the basketball and just giving us energy. I think anytime you can get a guy to give you some energy, whether they start or they come off the bench, it really helps you. Anthony can shoot the ball, he can score it, but doing those other things and being consistent in those other areas is going to be important for him. Today, I thought he did a good job.
He just sat here and told us that he really benefited from sitting on the end of the bench last year, and he listened to what Rob Hummel was saying. Can you sense that he learned some stuff in his red shirt?
Yeah, I think guys learn some things, but there's also some basic things that they miss. So with Anthony, I think you learn by sitting next to a guy like Rob of learning kind of some instincts and some feel are things that you got to go out there and you got to play. He needs to play. That's the reason I played him a lot of minutes. He needs to be out there and playing. And Rob's played a lot and then talks about it. There's a little bit of difference now. Obviously, Rob's a guy that understands the game, but he's also got a lot of experience. So I think the more Anthony can play, it's really going to help him.
Yeah. Now, what do you take from this game that you're going to use in practice this week to really harp on?
The rebounding. I think it actually, I think just a bad habit is created through 5-6 months of pickup basketball in certain areas for every team. Now maybe you have rebounders on your team that just flat go get it. We need to get some guys that just flat will go get the basketball and be more aggressive, on the glass. So that's probably the number one thing. I'm not as concerned. I thought out of the threes we shot, I only thought 2 or 3 of them were bad shots. I thought we took some pretty good shots. We just didn't make it. I'm not as concerned with that because I've seen some of those guys shoot and make them and be pretty consistent.